Hello farmers, today we are in Soweto, northwestern province at Kamanga farm. So on my left I have Mr. Kenneth, who is a farm manager. He's managing a 250 hectare farm, doing a number of projects. We've seen commercial maize, we've seen popcorn maize, we've seen watermelon, we've seen also potatoes, sweet potatoes. It's quite interesting because they opened this farm August last year, which is a good news because it didn't take them 1 year to establish this beautiful farm, which is an inspiration to other farmers who may want to get into business, because you don't need to have $1 million in your account, but you just need to be focused, determined, and bring in the required skills, because the farm manager is able to bring all this together by bringing different people to come and provide labor. I have been around Kalumbila, Kitwe, here in Soweto. We have moved around 5 farms and we saw different farms, but we never saw a well set up farm, or maybe a farm with different projects. We just see a maize failing, and the complaint was there's no rains, we didn't have enough rain, that's why you see it. And my understanding was, since it is because of El Nino, the drought, but I'm shocked that you have this beautiful crop, while these other farmers, they fail to produce such a beautiful crop. Maybe you can give to our viewers your take. How do you manage to produce such a crop, especially this type of in this season?
Okay, thank you so much. Just as my colleague said, I am Kenneth, and then here I think we have got different projects. As my colleague says, we have got the watermelons, Irish potato, sweet potato, beans, and maize. Now I'll focus on the maize. I will explain a little bit on how we are able to produce this kind of maize, this beautiful maize. What we did is that we planted early, and that is the key for us to have good and actually for us to have got this a very good yield. We have to plant early, and then we have to work on the weed. We have to remove weed immediately as we saw the weed. So in this field we use the hand weeding for us to remove the weeds, and we also use some chemicals which were able to help us to control the weeds. We use almost two types of fertilizer, which is D and urea. But for urea we use the green surf. For D compound we use the common D compound. So we spritted on fertilizer application. We applied D compound when planting, and then we applied the green surf after 21 days of germination, and again we applied the green surf after 43 days of germination. So that's why you can able to see. So in that spriting, even if there's too much rain, because this place we always receive a high amount of rainfall. So if we do the spriting, it means that if the fertilizer is almost to be washed away with the rain, again when you apply some fertilizer, the fertilizer will be able to catch up and able to make the maize stand and grow very well. So my word is that let's all do the same as we did on fertilizer spriting, because it will help us to have got good and a high yield production. Thank you so much.
Thank you very much, Mr. Kenneth, for highlighting those points. I'm very excited that you mentioned the issue of early planting, which is very important, considering that we are having El Nino effect, which is inducing this drought. So at least if you plant earlier, you are likely to lengthen the season. Then obviously the yield is going to be up. Then number 2, you mentioned issues to do with fertilizer application, which is very important, because nutrient management is very important in your soil. So the first thing, you need to make sure that you take your soil sample, you submit to the label, so that you get a tailor-made recommendation according to your soil capacity. Then secondly, you know the amount of fertilizer that you're supposed to put and the type of fertilizer. I'm happy that you mentioned the issue of splitting fertilizers. That one is going to be according to the soil type that we have. For instance, if you're saying soils, you need to make sure you split at least 2 to 3 times. Still, you are applying the same amount. Maybe you are supposed to apply 400 kg of ammonium nitrate. You then make sure that you apply 3 times, maybe 150 per split, which is good to make sure that your fertilizer remain in the soil nitrogen so that we get maximum yield. Then also, I'm excited that you chose the best varieties for your region, considering that you are in a region where we receive more rainfall. So at least you choose these medium varieties and long season varieties, which is very important. So now we are here because we want to do land use planning and management so that when we optimize the potential of the whole land, because we realize that this farm is 250 hectares, but only 10 hectares is being utilized, which means we need to see other options. How can we utilize that potential through the land use planning and management? So we're going to fly the drone over the whole piece of land so that we see the potential. If we are going to do livestock, beef, dairy, goats, how many animals are we supposed to keep based on the carrying capacity, based on the stocking rate that we are going to have, and also the underground water that we have from this farm, so that we see if we can do dairy, because we therefore need more water, because we might need to irrigate pastures. But we are pretty much excited because we are providing this service in Zambia. We are actually 1,200 kilometers away from Harare, where we normally operate. Thank you very much for watching this video. Let's meet on the next.